Welcome to Elaine Clark VO Real Talking Tips, where it's all about communication. I'm the author of There's Money Where Your Mouth Is, a complete insider's guide to earning income and building a career in voiceovers, and voiceovers for podcasting, how to develop a career and make a profit. I'm also the creator of 2 Elaine Clark apps, Activate Your Voice, 5-minute exercises to strengthen your speaking voice, and Adding Melody to Your Voice, speech improvement instruction and workout. This first series of micro-learning lessons is 52 weeks, so subscribe and tune in each week to Real Talking Tips for a new communication lesson. Episode 31, Word Emphasis. Stretch out that important word. Now it's time to stretch out a word. Slowing down the pace and stretching out key information is the 5th episode in this Real Talking Tips Word Emphasis Chart micro-learning series. In Real Talking Tips episodes 27 to 30, we added a dot, arrow up, arrow down, carrot down, and wiggle. Business names, brands, and titles require special focus and attention. Stretching out these important proper nouns is necessary for the listener. The alternating slow tempo, as opposed to the slightly faster pace of words around it, draws focus and allows time for the listener to think about the company, remember the title or name, and store it in their memory bank for future use. To be effective, the slower tempo should only land on the focus word, the all-important proper noun. The other words and phrases around it have other things to do, like wiggle, squiggles, dots, arrows, and carrots. Stretching out the name, title, or brand is an auditory way of shining a spotlight on the star of the show. Here's the rub. Most people don't do it. They don't change their tempo. So the star of the message gets lost in the word salad. Join me now in this next segment as I show you a technique that will help you slow down and draw focus to the important proper nouns. Stretch out titles, names, and brands. In previous episodes, I discussed the importance of alternating gestures between the right and left hands and using different movements and body placements to add variety to the voice, speech, and overall message. I reserve the use of both hands for the most important information, the proper noun. Like any repetitive action, if you consistently gesture with both hands, nothing is important. Once again, it gets tossed in the word salad where only the most focused and attentive listeners will stay alert enough to process the information and take the appropriate suggested action. An effective speaker needs to spoon-feed the listener the information so they can half listen and still get it. That's why all the other real talking tips we've practiced so far, like tempo changes, attitude, storytelling, opinion, power box locations, sing-talking, diction, balance, location, and word emphasis choices, are so important for adding variety and interest to the message, so the listener doesn't have to work hard to absorb the point. So this is how you do it. With hands at waist level, gesture with the right hand and leave it in place. Then gesture with the left hand and leave that hand in place. Now gesture out with both hands. So I'm doing these 3 movements: right hand, left hand, both hands together on the proper name stretch. It's your time now to practice this word emphasis technique. Did you see how I gestured with both hands on word emphasis? Use both hands to Billboard Proper Nouns. Use both hands to slow down and draw focus to proper nouns. Reserving the 2-handed gesture for proper nouns is a way to billboard that information. The best way to practice this billboard style of word emphasis is to read aloud newspapers, magazines, and even junk mail. Train your eyes to look for upper and lowercase words. Every time you see an uppercase letter in the middle or end of the sentence, slowly stretch both hands out. If the proper noun is at the beginning of the sentence, it can be a bit harder to recognize. And if someone writes in all caps, forget about it. This system of upper and lowercase recognition flies out the window. Now, let's get your hands ready to stretch out and billboard the proper noun in the various locations, beginning, middle, and end. Remember to gesture with alternating hands on the other phrases around it. The proper noun that we're going to use is real talking tips. Wonder where I came up with that. 1. Proper noun at the beginning. Real Talking Tips is a podcast to help improve speech communication. 2. Proper noun in the middle. Practice using the techniques in Real Talking Tips to improve speech communication. 3. Proper noun at the end. Practice and improve your speech communication with Real Talking Tips. When a proper noun has a subtitle, the billboard technique becomes a tiny bit more advanced. That's when you need to add paddles. Well, that's what I call it. With the two hands separated to stretch out the proper noun, keep the wrists in the same location and move the hands out so they gesture to the sides of the body and away from the center. So if I add a subtitle after the Real Talking Tips podcast title, the additional paddle movement and sound would be like this: Real Talking Tips word emphasis chart, or Real Talking Tips episode 31. 4. Long proper nouns with paddles. Thanks for listening to Real Talking Tips episode 31, where a slow two-handed gesture out billboards the title. To integrate this slow billboard focus on key proper nouns, you need to practice this technique and all the other word emphasis and Real Talking Tips techniques daily, or at least weekly. Muscle memory doesn't happen overnight. You're learning a new speech dance step. Start slowly as you practice each new technique until your body becomes wired for sound and uses these gestures and movements instinctively, without thought or control. It's part of the progression of owning the message and becoming unconsciously competent. Join me next time in Real Talking Tips episode 32 as we add parenthetical word emphasis to key words. And thanks for joining me on this voice and speech improvement journey. See you next time. Thanks for joining me on the Real Talking Tips podcast. To find out more, check out my books and apps and visit my website, ElaineClarkVO.com. Let's stay in touch. Become part of the Real Talking Tips community. Hit the subscribe button and use #RealTalkingTips, #ElaineClarkVO. You can also follow me on Twitter @ElaineClarkVO, Instagram ElaineClark.VO, and Facebook Elaine Clark Apps and Books. And don't forget to practice. It's all about communication. Go ahead, click the subscribe button.